Konnichiwa. The horror podcast no esaye koso. Watashi wa Austen de. Isomo no yo ni Cliff to Eli desu. That was rough. Very rough. But seeing
Konnichiwa, senpai.
Ooh, no. We are not doing that.
Hello, Austen-chan.
Seeing as I am way younger than both of you, you should not be calling me that. You can call me Champion-chan. Champion-kun, perhaps.
Hello, Champion-kun.
How about Chompy-chan?
But, apologies to any Japanese listeners I might have offended.
Oh, God.
Somehow.
They're with the Japanese market. There we go.
That was quite possibly the roughest thing I've had to do.
However, you did win the belt because of a New Japan show, so it makes sense.
I was rolling smoothly. We learned that. I looked it up in Translate and tried to do it within like 5 minutes. So obviously, if we were doing German, I'd have a lot more grasp on it.
Bruh, so when Gunter wins the world title later this year, you can do it in German. How about that?
I'm perfectly fine with that. Seeing as I actually know how to pronounce things in German versus looking something up on Translate and just winging it.
I thought you've watched enough anime to do that.
Oh, please. Regardless, welcome back. For those of you who don't know Japanese, that's pretty much just hello. Typical intro, hello, welcome back to the Ace Podcast. Name's Austin. With me as always, Cliff and Eli desu, which is Eli's name in Japanese apparently. Mine's just Austen, Oustin apparently. Even though it's not spelled like that, but regardless, we move on. Just like we're moving on to our next predictions. It felt like we just had a predictions episode not too long ago.
I swear, they were back to back. Like, it feels like Rumble was yesterday.
It definitely does feel like that. It feels like we are doing predictions after predictions, but it makes sense because we are on the road to WrestleMania, and we're chugging along. But we've got a special one today. We've got a special predictions episode, first of a kind, first of its own. Last week the gauntlet was thrown out. Eli said if I was such a fighting champion, why don't I put my money where my mouth is? And seeing as Elimination Chamber has 4 real matches and 1 hypothetical match as of now, we kind of had to pull matches from another show, which just so happens to be happening the same day as Elimination Chamber, that being Battle in the Valley, one of New Japan's U.S. shows that they have a year. It's over on the West Coast.
I would just like to point out that the American promotion is in Canada doing their pay-per-view, and the Japanese promotion is in America doing their pay-per-view.
Correct, Eli.
I don't.
You always talk about how you want to go back to the territory days. I mean,
I want to go back to the territory days, but at the same time, Japan wasn't a part of the territory days.
But that's what I'm saying. If we were still in the territory days, stuff like this wouldn't be happening.
Bruh, if the territory days come again, would it just be like nations as territories? Like the U.S. would be a territory split into 2 because we have WWE and AEW.
Essentially,
like Japan would be its own thing.
Japan would be its own.
England probably would have
AEW.
their own thing.
You'd have Rev Pro in England.
Mexico.
AEW and WWE would be here. You'd have AAA and CMLL there.
I think that's about it.
That would pretty much be your
you'd
major
have
promotions.
All Japan or Noah.
That would kind of be.
I've already say New Japan is the show over there, so it doesn't.
Yeah.
DDT, I guess.
No.
We'd have 5-star wrestling in London.
Rev Pro.
Regardless, today we've got matches from both of those cards. should round out to around 10. Like I said, one of these matches is hypothetical for Elimination Chamber. Like, it's being very heavily rumored that it'll happen, but there's also a chance that it won't happen. So if that's the case, no points will be accounted against anybody. It'll just be non-existent. But, I mean, you two, I've been talking almost this entire time. If you got anything else you want to add, you can go ahead and add it. But before you do, I actually want to stop. Say, make sure you stay tuned to the end. We've got our end segments, as always. Eli's Guess or Ellis or Cliff's Today in Pro Wrestling, then my poem. I will say my poem today is quite graphic and is very interesting with the detail. Like, the idea behind it is very interesting. It uses some very graphic images and words to describe it, but I think it fits perfectly with what it is getting across. Regardless, though, we do have that at the end of the episode, as always. Yeah, I think that's. I'm sure I was going to. Oh yeah, thank you guys for listening. As always, appreciate the hell out of you. Taking time out of your days to listen to us means a lot. I will say we've had kind of a dip in listeners here as of late. Trying to figure out what the cause of that may be. Trying different stuff. So hopefully we'll steer back on the track and we can continue to expand our listener base and keep on rolling. But no matter what, we're always going to keep bringing you content week in. Well, I'm not going to say week in and week out because sometimes things don't fall that way. But you'll get content from us one way or another. So somehow.
It'll be something.
But yeah, I mean, if you two got anything to add before we get into this.
I have a date in 5 hours.
Who has a date in the morning? What are you doing?
Fuck?
Oh, that's a breakfast date.
Taking her down to the corner or something?
No, we are meeting up for breakfast.
And for those, the corner is a restaurant in the place we're from. It's not an actual corner.
Yeah.
He's not making like a sex worker joke or something. It's an actual corner. It's called the Corner Restaurant.
I forgot that people wouldn't know what that was. Oh, whoops.
Yeah. I figured it better be to cover you than assume that.
No, we're meeting up for breakfast, and then we're going to proceed on with the day. So I'm gonna be tired.
Any plans? You're just gonna?
You can
just
go
gonna leave it at that.
Take her to the gazebo or something, or
No, we're going.
Gazebo's not there. They tore it down.
No.
We tore it down. There was way too many drugs hidden in that thing, man.
God damn.
Place has kind of turned into a little cesspool. Honestly, that's why I never like going back. You know, like every time I go back, I feel like it just gets worse and worse.
I'm stuck here.
For now.
I'm stuck here.
No. But for real though, to everyone out there, had something happen to me pretty shocking this past week. So just know that some people will they'll pray every single night before they go to bed on your downfall, and you know some people are just sick to their stomachs that you are having success. And to those people, I say, I hope you have good fucking health care, because you're going to be sick as a motherfucker. That's coming from a personal point. But,
fair enough.
I mean, we're almost at our 10 minutes. So I say we'll right on into this, unless, Cliff, you got something you want to add? Some more stuff from our hometown that people won't get.
The right. I'm not going to say it because if I say the full name of it, they can look it up. So
the what?
Right. RITE.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's not the same anymore, though. Like, ever since they kind of...
No, man. They changed up the sauce, and the sauce is bad.
Everything's changed. I get sick every time I go there.
The only consistent thing, and thank goodness it's consistent, is the fries.
L-Rep?
No, the fries from Just Right have been kind of... Oh!
Damn
the
No, there's more. There's kind of some around.
Yeah. Well, the fries there are always consistent. Before they close, after they close, it's the burgers and stuff. And it's just like the slightest difference.
Did you say the name of the restaurant?
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about OWeb, not...
No. It doesn't matter. It
don't matter. You already name-dropped it once. You name-dropped my phone number.
We dropped Eli's phone number like episode 4.
Hey, we're very personable. We're personable people.
I don't need phone calls. I got a random phone call the other day.
Well,
it's a fan.
I don't want them.
Well, I can
calling me.
I can tell you something almost as random as that is our hypothetical first match here for Elimination Chamber. Going right into this, we're at over our 10-minute little threshold there.
Hold on, I need to drop Eli's phone number in the chat again. Hold on.
No.
Hold on. Let me pull it up.
I already have somebody who won't finish the freaking mobile games.
It'll be 765-280-186, and you guys can figure out the last number.
Whose number did you just drop?
Yeah, that's not Eli's.
That ain't my number.
Oh no!
Shut the fuck up.
Oh my! Oh my! That might as well be Eli's phone number.
Oh, God. Anyway, the first match of the night is the hypothetical match that might happen.
I'm getting
it's
fired.
it's looking.
I left out numbers, Eli. It's okay.
It's looking very likely to happen, and that would be Damage Control versus the team of Becky Lynch, Lita, and Trish Stratus. Now, the whole thing with this is that people are saying that Lita isn't going to come back for just like the whole 2 minutes of TV and then leave for no reason. And Trish has also been heavily rumored to be on SmackDown this week. So they're thinking that'll turn into a match at the pay-per-view, which it's very, very likely it could. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw out my pick since this is purely hypothetical. I think if the two do come back, it definitely would go in the favor of Team Becky Lynch. And these two are just throwing hand signals back and forth like they're part of the Hokage or some shit in Naruto. But Team Becky, if this match does happen, it's Team. I just wrote down BLT. So.
Oh my God! It is BLT.
Becky, Lita, Trish.
Oh my God.
Team BLT. Or this could be the ultimate heel move and they could have them go over. They could have Damage Control finally win something for once.
No, I see this building as a breaking point for Bayley. And I have Team Becky winning it as well because I need this to be the breaking point for Bayley at this point. They're not doing anything with her. She has nothing going into Mania. Maybe you have Lita and Trish at Mania, night 1 or 2 against Damage Control for the tag titles. That would be a neat little matchup, something we haven't seen yet. But we really need something with Bayley, and we need something with Becky. Becky doesn't have a spot at WrestleMania.
Yeah, or it could be working to Bayley and Becky versus Damage Control. Highly doubt that. It'll probably end up just being Bayley versus Becky at Mania, but who knows at this point.
Oh, so it can get cut for time again?
Yeah. Yeah. So I got Team Becky going over because, well, something needs to give at this point.
I've got Team BLT for one reason and one reason only. They're in Canada, and they need a Canadian to win on this card.
That's it? That's the one reason?
Trish is Canadian.
So then by that logic, Sammy's going over then.
No, I said they need one Canadian to win.
Okay. Very, very fair. Very fair statement there.
But yeah, no, Team BLT, if the match happens.
Yeah, this is all purely hypothetical if the match does end up happening. This episode of the Ace and Hole podcast is brought to you by Anchor by Spotify. Now, us here at the Ace and Hole podcast, the entire time we have been giving you guys pro wrestling content, news, everything. It has all been powered by Anchor. Anchor is a great user-friendly platform to be able to get on. Even if you have no ideas how to run a podcast, Anchor is such a good tool to use. The analytics that they give you are so in-depth. You can see who's listening, where from, their ages, the age gaps, percentages, average listens, everything, all on the dashboard, very easy. And you simply can't beat it. It's user-friendly look, feel, everything, which is why we're here at the Ace and Hole podcast are proud to say that we now and will be powered by Anchor. And rolling right back into our next match, not our last match, our next match. The last match is way far from now. And also, if the beginning of that cut off, my apologies. I may have jumped the gun a little bit. I may have gotten a little too excited. We had to check and make sure Eli's audio is still picking up because we don't want that to happen again. Yeah!
Every time.
But moving on to the Raw Women's Elimination Chamber. This is for the number one contender for Mania. And the women in the chamber include Asuka or Kana, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Nikki Cross, Carmella, and Natalya. Now, I'll be honest, this is a match I haven't looked into a whole lot. And there's a lot of interesting matchups here. You could have Raquel versus Bianca at Mania. You could have Asuka versus Bianca at Mania. Because I believe we haven't had Asuka versus Bianca yet. Could be wrong. Not to my knowledge. I don't remember that ever happening. I think those are really...
Bianca?
Yeah.
No. Bianca faced Sasha last Mania? Or the Mania before? Because it was the first women's main event, and it was the first
Black women's main event.
Black women's main event. So like I said, it's interesting because they could go with Liv Morgan again. I don't think they will, though. I think they're kind of soured out on Liv Morgan. And then the other three, I don't think so. Nikki Cross, Carmella, and Natalya. Natalya would be a feel-good story, I suppose. Her coming back. Carmella, I don't understand how she ever was champion in the first place. She's not terrible in ring, but that's just crazy. I really think it comes down to Raquel and Asuka and the way that they've been building up both of these women. I don't know. This is a tough decision. It all really comes down to who they want to pull the trigger on. Or if they want to pull the trigger on Raquel, because they know that Asuka can go. That's not really a question of skill or talent. So, I don't know. I love Raquel. I also love Asuka. My gut's telling me Asuka. So, I gotta go with Asuka. I went with Asuka as well. And this is the only reason I went with Asuka was solely on the fact we've had Bianca versus Alexa. I want to see Asuka versus Bianca at Mania and Bianca beating Asuka kind of just to kind of, number one, push her character more. Also, it's kind of a beating your demons in a way sort of sense for Bianca, where she's beaten Alexa now, who has kind of turned into this her twisted bliss character alter ego thing. And then we have Asuka, who has gone back to Kana from Japan, who is this demented clown character, pretty much. And so, I want to see Asuka win it. I want to see Asuka go to Mania and face Bianca. I'm happy either way. Bianca wins at Mania. Asuka wins at Mania. I don't care. I'm happy either way. I get Kana as champion. I get Bianca as champion. I'm fine with either. I don't care enough. But I got Asuka winning it.
Only one of these women in the Elimination Chamber got a pop that rivaled Cody Rhodes. And that's Asuka. Asuka wins.
Wasn't Camilla?
Asuka goes to Mania. I'm not even going to acknowledge that.
What about Nia
And
Jax?
Asuka beats Bianca at Mania.
See, this makes me want to pick Raquel even more, but I'm not going to do that.
I don't think they'll do it with her. I think Raquel will be a Rhea Ripley match. With Rhea Ripley as champion.
That's very fair.
It's why I
That's
also
fair.
didn't pick Liv Morgan. I think Liv Morgan has a story still to tell with Rhea, to where those two could be against Rhea, triple threat, singles matches, doesn't matter. I just see them going against her, more so Bianca. There's nothing there with Bianca for them. There's story to tell with Rhea. So that's the only reason why that's the major reason I went with Asuka for this pick.
And my thing is, Asuka is fucking due. For the love of God, Asuka is fucking due.
Well, the last time she was champion, wasn't that when
I'm
Becky
pretty sure.
gave it up?
Yeah, it was like before or during COVID.
It was during, because it was the Money in the Bank, and Becky was pregnant, and so she had to forfeit it.
She's fucking due. She is ungodly due. She is so due. This woman should have been... honestly, you want my opinion? I don't think she still should have lost. I think she should still be undefeated. Because you remember when they called her up from NXT, and she was undefeated in NXT, and she went to Mania, and she lost to Charlotte?
Well, that too, but I'm pretty sure she lost to Ember Moon in NXT.
No. Because they called her up, and I'm almost positive they called her up, and she was undefeated. So then she wrestled Charlotte at Mania, and she lost her undefeated streak. I could be wrong. This is years ago.
That
But
may be it.
I feel fairly certain that that's what it was. Because I remember being pissed, and that's like one of the main reasons I don't like Charlotte Flair. Besides all the other stuff, which you can go hear in one of our other episodes. Ace and Hole lists most hated wrestlers of all time. But, moving on to the next match on the card. The Grit Couple. You got Edge and Beth Phoenix versus the Judgment Day. And I really don't know. I don't know what way this one's going to go either. Because you've got Edge and Beth. Do they have Beth come back and lose? Like, that's what this boils down to. Edge can lose again and again and again. Doesn't matter. People are still going to love him. Are they going to have Beth come back and lose? I don't think they are. Unless they want to set up a Mania match. What that Mania match would be, don't know. Don't care. But I don't think they have Beth lose. And Edge has hinted at retiring in Canada. Because, he obviously is Canadian. So maybe this is it. Maybe this is the time he hangs it up, sends it home. I doubt it. But regardless, I think Edge and Beth take it here.
I picked Judgment Day just because, number one, Rhea Ripley's the Royal Rumble winner. She has a Mania match, guaranteed Women's Championship, Charlotte Flair. I don't see them having her lose this unless they're going to set up, for whatever reason, Beth Phoenix versus her night 2. which would make no sense at all. Besides,
Or
kind
Charlotte
of
could get
storyline,
involved.
but and then Edge said he wants to retire in Canada. I don't think Edge has to have any more matches. I don't think Edge has to really have this match. He could have left with the I Quit match and showed up for Royal Rumbles and stuff. Would have been fine. He would have had a pop every single time that it happened. I have Judgment Day winning this based on Edge is leaving in Canada this year. He had said that last year when they were in Canada. Rhea won the Rumble, and I just can't see a reason why they would push Beth into a championship picture after she's been God knows where for how long. I mean, there's so many more people they could push up to the top. Her coming back and getting pushed up to the top is going to cause way too many more problems than...
But that would be like saying
Gross.
they're going to push Trish Stratus and Lita into the championship
Well, that's
contention
to
just because
give
they
the
come
tag
back
team-
and...
That's just trying to give the tag team a push again.
That's not a logical thought process, though. Edge could pin Finn.
Okay, and even if you take that part out of it, you still
Rhea
have...
Rhea could be a non-factor in the match at all.
Well, you still
Dom,
have...
Dom could cost him the fucking match.
And then you have Edge versus Dominic.
Balor
But
once
we're
again. Or
building
whatever.
up- we are building up to Ray versus Dominic. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that one, really. So, it's... I just can't see...
I'm fine with the pick you made. It's the logic that you use
I
that
just can't see a
I'm not
timeline
sold
where
on.
Beth beats the Royal Rumble winner.
But Beth doesn't have to
go
beat
on.
her. That's what I'm saying. Edge can
I don't
beat
see
Finn,
Edge
and then they
beating Finn either.
lose.
I don't see Edge beating Finn either. I think this is going to be the sunset match.
I agree, but I think he's going out on a win. It's the least that they can do
I
for
don't
him.
think he's going out on a win. I think he will do what all wrestlers do, and whoever is staying in the company, whoever is going to be there, especially when they are younger, you let them continue on, you push them on your way out. He rides off in the sunset, and he pushes Finn. I can't see a reason why he would take a win.
And I will leave it at this. You are 0-3. I rest my case.
Spicy. Yeah, I've also got Beth and Edge. You can have
This is where we
Edge.
diverge.
You can have Edge pin Finn. Dominic gets involved, but gets thwarted off by his dad, who we haven't seen since Rumble. That causes the distraction. Rhea gets speared by Beth.
Also, we have seen Ray.
He wrestled tonight on SmackDown.
Oh, did he wrestle tonight? Sorry.
He got beat by Madcap Moss. Oh!
Oof.
Well, didn't he also talk to Santos Escobar in the back? Didn't they exchange masks or something?
I didn't see that part.
I don't know. I was at work.
Regardless, moving on to our next match, we have the U.S. title Elimination Chamber match between A-Town Down, Austin Theory, Seth freaking Rollins, Johnny Gargano, Bronson Reed, Damian Priest, and Montez Ford. And I really think there's one person here. If they are wanting to set up this match, this dream match, this match at Mania, we're on the road to Mania. This is heavily speculated for the U.S. title. I think Theory takes it back here because they are wanting to set up that Theory versus Cena Mania match for the U.S. title. That's what's been going around. The seeds were planted back at Cena's 20th reunion or 20th anniversary thing. And the seeds were planted, and this is the time for them to come to fruition. So I think it could go to Seth. I'm not saying it couldn't, but who would he wrestle at Mania? Who would Seth wrestle at Mania? That's what it boils down to, and everyone else in this match is pretty much a non-factor. You aren't going to have Montez Ford win the U.S. title and then break the Street Profits up just yet. It's going to happen, but not yet. Damian Priest, okay. Bronson Reed also is an okay. Same with Johnny Gargano. So I think you can flip me off. You know I'm right. He's not winning this match.
Honestly, I see Johnny Gargano spinning his wheels until Champ is back.
He has to at this point.
Like I don't see anything taken off for him. Like he's got to show up on TV, but I don't see anything else going for him.
He has to. That's what the whole storyline was building up to, and then Ciampa got hurt, and we're at this point now.
But I got A-Town down.
I just wrote down you had Seth.
As I do as well. I'm going to go ahead and jump the shark and pick before Eli, because Eli's going to be different. But yeah, no. I got to take Austin Theory so that way he can beat John Cena at WrestleMania.
That was my exact thought process, was I want this to be a reason that he faces John Cena at WrestleMania.
Well, I'm glad we're all on the same page for once.
I know, right?
I told you guys, I'm trying to pick smart this time. The only thing we diverge on so far is that Judgment Day match.
And hopefully we all agree on this match as well. It's the last match on the card for the WWE Universal Championship, or the Universal WWE Unified Bonafide 7-Eleven I-74 South, Lexington and Kentucky
U60
Championship.
367.
Yeah.
The 420 blazing.
24.
Cattle raising.
24-hour, 8-day a week, I-74 South, and Louisville Championship. Roman versus Sammy. It's kind of the payoff. I could see Sammy winning it here. Like, they could paint up something that it's Sammy versus Cody. I mean, look, you want to look back for an example? Look at Daniel Bryan winning the title. They did the same exact thing with the Authority. Batista won the title, ended up getting shafted out of his match because Daniel Bryan beat Triple H earlier in that night and made it a triple threat. Replace the Authority with the Bloodline? Virtually the same exact thing. I don't think it's going to happen, though. I think Roman's winning. He's taking it to Mania. It's going to be Rhodes versus... in some capacity. Could be for one title. Could be for both titles. Could be for no fucking titles. Who knows? But it's going to be Roman versus Cody at Mania. And in order for that to happen, Roman has to win here and retain. But I could see, if someone picks Sammy, I could see why. Plus, they're in Canada.
You jumping?
Sure, why not? I'm taking Roman. Sammy's not going to win here. They already are going to have their Canadians winning. It's already going to be very heartfelt. And, you know, it's not his time. To quote the Three Doors Down song, it's not his time. But I do, however, like how on recent shows they have been talking about the specific titles that Roman has. Sammy has mentioned nothing but the Universal title, and Cody has mentioned nothing but the WWE title. I just enjoy that. It makes me think that we're going to get Roman fighting on both nights of Mania, losing one if not both, and each brand's going to have a big title again. They had a really good run, Raw being without a major title, but I think it's going to end, but I think it's going to end at WrestleMania.
See, I have Roman down in the paper. I have Roman down because I don't see Sammy winning.
But imagine they're in Canada.
Thing. I've been sick for a week. I don't see Roman winning. I don't see Sammy winning, sorry. This is a tough pick, though, because with the storyline going on the way it is, does Jay betray Sammy Does Jay betray Roman? Does Jimmy betray either one of them? Does Kevin Owens come back? Does Solo play a hand in this? There's multiple outcomes that can come out of this. The only thing I can really see is Roman coming out of it as champion by disqualification, maybe. And that sets up Sammy didn't lose, but we also have Cody. And maybe that's how they do the separate of the championships. Is Sammy does Universal and Cody does WWE. I don't know.
My thing would also be if there. I feel like one of the matches that people want to see most at Mania would be KO and Sammy versus the Usos, and for that to happen, Jay would have to turn on Sammy.
People have been wanting to see that, but at this point, I more want to see Sammy versus Roman at WrestleMania than Sammy and Kevin Owens versus the Usos. I feel like there's more of a story-packed match there than with the other one. I still think it would be good, don't get me wrong, but I just don't see a future where that's the outcome that's going to get the least amount of hate from the fans, and I don't think
I feel like either way
story to tell.
I feel like either way people are going to enjoy it. Whether it's
absolutely,
KO and Sammy versus the Usos or Sammy versus Roman. I agree. But how are you going to fit Sammy versus Roman and Cody versus Roman on 2 nights without those being the 2 main events?
Tokyo.
Because they clearly
multiple times.
they don't have a Royal Rumble where they say specifically that the women get the main event Royal Rumble.
They have a G1 climax.
That's the issue. That's the issue here.
Span.
That's the issue here. Is that the women have to main event one of the nights of WrestleMania. That being the first night, because that's what it's always been. Because the biggest matches are on the second night. So, and the only time that didn't happen was last year, when Stone Cold came out and he had like that half match interviewed fucking thing. That's the only time it hasn't happened, and that wasn't hailed as the main event. The main event was the women's match. So, then, you would have to have that go on the show, like, first. Because you can't have that go on, like, halfway through or before the women, because it would overshadow the women. So I think in the perfect booking world, perfect booking space, night 1, you have KO and Sammy versus the Usos open the show. And then night 2, you have Roman versus Cody main event. And in order for that to happen, Jay would have to turn on Sammy at Elimination Chamber. And then say that was all a ruse. And then Sammy takes the... Because maybe Sammy knows that he can't beat Roman. Maybe Sammy has already admitted to himself that he can't beat Roman. So he is cooking up a plan with Jay just to get all the gold away from the bloodline. He knows for sure Cody has a better chance than he does. So he's working with Jay, and he's like, let's kick DUI Jimmy to the curb, and, like, we can run this shit. Like, you can help me take down Roman in the long run.
I can see it. I don't know. I have Roman winning.
This is a good...
But there's so many different outcomes that can come from this match that...
And this is what happens when you tell good stories. Yeah, there's unlimited outcomes that can happen.
But
that is enough.
That finishes it up.
Yeah, that is all from our WWE Elimination Chamber picks. But as I stated, we are now switching over to Battle in the Valley. And I cannot stress how fucking hard this is as the defending champion to have to pick almost perfectly across 2 shows of wrestling. This is so hard. I have to get pretty much 2 shows almost completely right in order to retain my title.
This is also unprecedented, defending the belt 2 times in one night, basically.
He can do it. I'm sure he can do it.
You know what's great, though? Technically, I could miss everything at Elimination Chamber and get all the Japanese matches right and still be the champion.
No, that's false. There's 5 matches on each show, and if that damage control one doesn't happen...
Yeah, it'll be 4 and 5.
You guys have the exact same picks.
Exactly.
So far.
Which means he has the exact same picks as me. So, when we differ on this card, because we will differ...
What are you saying? Okada's not going to walk in with the title? You saying Okada's going to lose it to Shingo?
Ospreay
said that,
doesn't
not
have
me.
a championship.
Yeah, but he's too distraught after losing to Omega again to challenge for the big belt. Come on now.
Even then, they wouldn't have Ospreay take it off Okada that fast.
No, it's probably going to be a Tokyo.
It'd be a barn burner. It'd be a slobber knocker.
It would be great, but that's going to be a Dominion build-up or a Tokyo Dome build-up for next year.
Anyway. Looking at the 5 matches we picked for tomorrow, all championship matches, because there's 10 matches on the card, we figured 14 total matches would be way too much. So we figured 5 from each show. So these are just the championship matches from Battle in the Valley, which is also taking place Saturday, February 18th. So, looking at the card here that we're going to go ahead and give predictions for. You got Kenta versus the strong openweight champion, Fred Rosser. You've got Kazuchika Okada, or I said Okada because it could be him or Shingo Takagi. It's going to be Okada. There's no shot it's not going to be Okada versus someone they haven't announced yet for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. But I feel like all of us in here are pretty safe in saying that is going to be Okada fighting in that match. The next match is for the Strong Openweight Tag Team Championship. My boys, the Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, are taking on the West Coast Wrecking Crew of Joriel Nelson and Royce Isaacs. And then the last... We aren't going to go in this order, but in the last match on this card that we're going to be covering, it'll be Zack Sabre Jr. defending his NJPW World Television Championship against Clark Connors. And the first match we are going to give our predictions for is the Kenta versus Fred Rosser match for the Strong Openweight Championship. And I think it's going to Kenta. I don't think Fred Rosser is retaining. I think Kenta takes the belt off of Fred Rosser here.
I agree. I have Kenta written down.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I can understand why. I can see it. I've been flipping back and forth between them. I have Fred. Bear with me. Just because he is the only... You give it to Kenta. Kenta hops around too much. Kenta has mostly been in Pro Wrestling Noah for the majority of last year, and so far this year, he's pretty much only been exclusively with Noah. He's been on a few tour dates with New Japan, but he's been replaced more often than not. I can't see them going, here's this title belt, you're not going to be here, but here's a championship. Until he's going to start appearing more frequently on shows, and unless he's appearing on AEW, I don't see him staying for New Japan Strong. Fred Rosser is your only mainstay guy for New Japan Strong in this match, so I have Fred winning it and retaining his belt, just based on the reason of Kenta keeps going over the Noah, and you have to have your champion in your company.
Well, and there's also a lot going into this because, well, I wasn't sure if Cliff was going to say anything or not. There's a lot going into this because he won the very first Strong Survivor match as well. So, like, he's not just, like, rolling up and, like, oh, well, fucking, here we go. Like, and there's also rumors that I've heard Strong isn't going to be a thing for too much longer. So,
Okay, so then do you get rid of your championship and just scrap it? Or do you have your defending champion have a gripe for a world title match? If they get rid of that.
This is how it boils down. If Fred Rosser wins, it'd be an upset, and I think this would push him more towards like that bigger Japanese audience. Or they could just give the belt to Kenta, and that be that. It's an interesting match. No matter how you... There's 1,000 different ways to skin a cat, and it's the same exact thing with this match. No matter how you look at it, it's going to be an interesting match regardless. But I don't know. I think Kenta, like when I read it, I was like, oh, he's got this. Fred Rosser's had a good, decent reign with it, but I think Kenta takes it here. But moving on to the next match I have down. I tried to do these in order as best as I could of importance. So the next match would be the Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin versus West Coast Wrecking Crew, Joriel Nelson and Royce Isaacs. Another interesting match, but frankly, I don't care. I'm picking my boys. I'm picking the Motor City Machine Guns. It doesn't matter. I don't care what logic you're using. I frankly don't give a shit. I'm picking the Motor City Machine Guns.
I got Motor City as well, just based on the fact that this team that they're going up against is, I said it before, I'll say it again, a bunch of nobodies that they put together, two nobodies that they put together to make a tag team because they needed some tag teams. That's it. That's all it is. They have no chemistry, in my opinion. The matches they've had are very dull. I believe this is the team that they've already beaten to get the championships. So, I don't see... Maybe Motor City Machine Guns hands it off to the younger people. I can't see that happening. But, who knows? I have Motor City Machine Guns winning it. And that's all I do know.
I agree completely and wholeheartedly that the Americans will keep the belt in America. And yes, I know I picked Fred Rosser to lose his belt, Eli. You don't have to give me that look.
No, that's not... That's... I just want to make sure you do know that these... Austin, please continue.
Okay.
I got it in his head. I'm in his head. He's not winning the belt this time.
Royce Isaacs is from Colorado.
Okay.
Pretty sure everyone in this match is from America.
Everybody is from America.
No, I'm aware completely.
I don't...
Anyway, moving on. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Clark Connors for the NJPW television title. Once again, I'm picking my boy, Zack Sabre Jr. You don't win a title and then hot shot it off of him immediately, especially with it being an inaugural title. In America, nonetheless, he's not losing it. Zack Sabre Jr.
Yeah, Zack Sabre for the win.
Once again, I'm the only one that has one different pick from you guys. I had it with the Judgment Day, and I have it now with Fred. I have Zack as a winner, though. But I'm the only one that has one different pick here. this is starting to shape up to be the Royal Rumble again.
Well, and I think this next match here is going to be the deciding one. Because it's interesting. Super, super, super duper interesting. You got Mercedes Moné versus Kyrie, or Kyrie Sane, whatever you want to call her, for the IWGP Women's Championship. And this is going to be the one that's going to be probably the most decisive out of all of us, because she's defended it twice. Is that enough to take it off of her? Do they want to give it to the new woman that just walked in? Do they trust her, considering how shitty her debut was? What do they do here?
I swear to God, I will go to where you're at if you say Mercedes
and
kill you.
And that's why we're going to wait. We're going to pick that match last, because I feel like we're all fairly certain on Okada winning whoever he's facing. Do we feel fairly certain in that sentiment? That no matter who he's facing, he's retaining his title?
That's even if he walks in with the title.
See, there is that aspect to it. Because they could give.
If we hold on. If we don't share that sentiment, I'm going to keep it at the last match we picked.
Nah, I'm just being the shithead for being.
Because I'm trying to build a dramatic tension. It's called booking a show. You marks, learn how to do it. Maybe you can run something one day.
I'm running my life into the ground. Does that work?
Maybe you shouldn't run anything then.
Yeah, no, I got Okada. He's gonna hold that belt for years.
I have Okada, but I wouldn't be mad if Shingo won either.
Okay. So, no matter who he faces, even at Battle in the Valley, we're all saying Okada. Okay. So now, Cliff and I have the same picks across the board. Literally no differences. And this match is interesting because
He's gonna pick Mercedes just to have a different pick from you.
I'm gonna let you two discuss about this because I feel like I've been talking quite a bit. So you two give your thoughts, opinions, everything on this match.
The thing that makes it so interesting for me is that Battle in the Valley was going to be just another, show that they do in America. And now that it's been name dropped, after all of that terrible debut she had, whether you like it or not, it got publicity for it. Any publicity is decent publicity. So, it's got people tuning in to either watch the car crash or watch what happens. And she's being played up as this American hotshot coming in. The match is in America. It's something. It's really something.
See, Mercedes has come in with a finishing move that cannot be done correctly. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no foolproof way of being able to do it. You are pretty much putting your opponent's life in your hands with a move that you're not able to perform correctly. And if not, it looks like it's botched, as happened in her debut. So, with the problem we have going into this match here is we have a finishing move that doesn't work. You have a wrestler who has done Jack Diddley squat, just like Paige. You have a wrestler who's not good on the mic, just like Ronda Rousey. You have somebody who's botching, just like Jade Cargill. So you already have 3 terrible wrestlers next to you. What's going to happen next? You're going to injure somebody like Nia Jax? Like, I mean, we can hit a whole quad on this. I mean, it's Sasha Banks won women's championships. Not taking that away from her. And I'm never going to pretend that pro wrestling does not have a scripted outcome. The things that happen in between that match, the beginning and the end of that match, sometimes can change that outcome. Something happens during the match. Sometimes somebody else has to take the pin. Arm gets broken. Somebody else has to take the pin. Something happens with the leg. Somebody else has to take a pin. Concussion. Match can get called off. Stuff can happen during the match. At this point, I do not see this match being safe. At this point, I see Kairi getting pissed because what happened to her in WWE? She got the shit knocked out of her by Nia Jax. Kairi comes from Japanese wrestling. Let's go back to Okada. Night 2, if you want to call it, of Tokyo Dome, when he got kicked and went apeshit on a guy. You do not go into a Japanese match, a Japanese wrestling match, where they know shoot style wrestling, and not know fully what you're doing. I see Kairi taking a move wrong and maybe pushing it underneath, sweeping it underneath the rug, and then getting hit with another move wrong, and shit's gonna hit the fan very quickly. I can't see an outcome in this where Mercedes comes out the same way she's trying to go in, and she's going in with the hatred of all the fans anyways. So if we want to get into picks, I got Kairi winning this because I don't. No way in hell I'm putting Mercedes there because I don't like her as Mercedes. I don't like her as Sasha Banks. Same way as I don't like Saraya as Saraya, and I don't like her as Paige. I don't like Ronda Rousey, period. I don't like Jade Cargill, period. I don't like, not Nia Rose, Nia Jax. I hate all of them. So, I got Kairi Sane winning it. Not Kairi Sane. Yeah, Kairi Sane. I got Kairi winning it. Retaining.
Cliff?
I want to hear your final thoughts on it, Austin.
This is the one match I don't want to put a pick for.
I know, right?
This truly is the one match I don't want to pick.
I don't care.
This is
because
there's so much.
I would
it
be
makes
more pissed if Monet
it makes
wins.
sense to Kairi, like that Kairi retains. It'll be her third defense, solidifies her as a real champion. But they wouldn't bring Sasha in for no reason, and they wouldn't have her wrestle in America for no reason. That's what it boils down to. Is it just for publicity? Very well could be, probably is. But there's still that lingering fact that they could pull the trigger on her. She could come out and burn the fucking house down and prove you wrong, Eli. She could come out and be the fucking best in the world. For all you know, you don't know.
So she's gonna have a friend throw a steel chair and bite people?
Oh, you're referencing the all-out brawl-out.
I was waiting for Cliff's gears to start going.
That took me a second. Episode 1, in case you're curious.
But, my God, I hate this. This makes me sick to my stomach that I have to pick this.
Yeah.
Like, it really does.
Not an easy one.
I'm going with the brain, though. I'm going with the smart choice. Give me Kairi.
And that is why I am going to be leaving as champion. Written down. Ever since I asked if we were doing both, I had one pick, no matter what I was going to pick. Give me Mercedes.
Alright. So, if you really need to know the numbers here...
That's our only pick we differ on, Eli.
I'm going to give...
Me and Austin are the
point
same.
A and point B. 812-471-94 you can pick the other last two. And point B is 812-423-94. You can pick the last two.
God. Fuck you. You know what? After I get the fucking belt back, I'm taking Wrestler of the Week. You can have this day in history. I'm taking Wrestler of the Week.
Come on.
I'm glad no one wants to read poems. I got like the most boring one, thankfully. My workload should never change.
That's the one pick I have had sorted in my head. Is that it's...
God, I want to change my pick now, just so Cliff and I are the exact same. It would give Eli such a good chance to win.
Do it. Cliff
Austin, I think at this point, if you change, I will change.
Cliff will have to read poems.
I'm fucking with you, though. Yeah, no, legit, though. That's the one pick I have been set on.
And, listen, if that's the pick I lose to, I'm fine with losing to that pick just because it shouldn't happen in the first place. So, if I lose to that pick, so fucking be it.
But, imagine losing your pick to that. Losing the belts to that.
That's about like losing it because Soraya decided to win the Women's Championship in AEW.
You gotta remember, I won the belt originally off of some dumb bullshit like that.
I don't think you did.
I did.
I don't think you did.
Our first was the AEW pay-per-view.
That is true.
And I believe it was Omega Hangman. And I picked Hangman.
How was that stupid?
I think it was the 4-way match, I thought.
I'll have to go back and listen. But I remember...
I was say, I'd have to look...
It was Forbidden Door.
Hold on. I might actually be...
No, it wasn't Forbidden Door.
I have all my notes right here.
Oh.
I'll have to scan through them, but...
Here, you... Well, while they're doing that, I will get to today's date in pro wrestling history, as it's a longer day in pro wrestling history today. Oh boy. Let's see here. Starting in 1969, Dory Funk Jr. defeated Gene Kiniski in Tampa, Florida to win the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. This would spur Dory Funk Jr.'s title run to last 4 years. While on excursion in America, Giant Baba defeated Harley Race to win the Pacific Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Championship. Tito Santana in 1984 became WWF Intercontinental Champion in Boston when he beat Don Morocco. In 96, Super Brawl 6 took place at Bayfront Center, St. Petersburg, Florida. The most remarkable moment on the card was the I Respect You strap match between Kevin Sullivan and Brian Pillman. After just 59 seconds, Pillman grabbed the mic and said, "I respect you, Booker man," giving Sullivan the win. The utterance was a reference to Sullivan's position as head booker at the company at the time and was supposed to be a part of Pillman's insider loose cannon angle. Not long after he was given his very real release. In 2007, TNA had Against All Odds took place at the Impact Zone at Universal Studios. In the main event, Christian Cage beat Kurt Angle to retain the NWA World Championship. In 2010, during the investor call, Vince McMahon made the announcement that WWE would be dropping the Survivor Series pay-per-view name. The decision was revised, and the pay-per-view brand never missed a single year. In 2014, NJPW presented their new beginnings in Osaka, Japan. The only title change saw Tomohiro Ishii defeat Tetsuya Naito to win the Never Openweight Championship. And in the main event, Okada retained the Heavyweight Championship against Hiroki Goto. In 2015, NXT TakeOver Rival from Full Sail in Florida happened. In the main event, KO beat Sami Zayn for the NXT Championship. And the semi-main event saw a pretty big moment where the 4 horsewomen of NXT had their NXT Fatal 4-Way, where it was Sasha, Charlotte, Becky, and Bayley fighting for the NXT Women's Championship. In 2015, New Japan held their New Beginnings in Osaka, where a huge title change took place. AJ Styles, won the World Heavyweight Championship from Tanahashi. And before that match, Gallows and Anderson won the IWGP Tag Team Championships. And in the third title change of the night, the Young Bucks won the triple threat match for the Junior Heavyweight Championships, defeating Redragon and the Time Splitters.
All right, hold on, Cliff. Eli looks like he's got something.
For once, we have a live wrestling update during our show. El Desperado, Suzuki, and Ren Narita are the new Never Openweight 6-man tag team champions.
Let's go.
Yeah, I saw that update, yeah.
I high-key thought it was something to do with Okada because of his face.
No.
I was like, oh
yeah,
my
me too.
God. Sorry for cutting you off.
Oh.
It looked important.
That's the best thing ever.
Okay. Back to another New Beginnings in Osaka. They just really liked this day. In 2016, the Never Openweight 6-man championships changed hands when the Bullet Club members of Bad Luck Fale, Tamatonga, and Yujiro Takahashi defeated Jay Briscoe, Mark Briscoe, and Toru Yano. And in the main event, Kazuchika Okada retained against Hiroki Goto. In 2017, New Japan held once again New Beginnings in Osaka. In the main event, Naito retained the Intercontinental Championship against Michael Elgin, and the only title change of the night saw Bushi, Sanada, and Evil win the 6-man titles from Hiroshi Tanahashi, Manabu Nakashi, and Ryusuke Taguchi. In 2017, Chavo Guerrero Sr. passed away after a battle with cancer. In 2018, Progress Chapter 63, Take Me Underground from the O2 Ritz and Manchester happened. Mark Haskins and Jimmy Havoc defeated James Drake and Zach Gibson to win the Progress Tag titles. And in 2019, the Ideon Arena in Osaka, Japan presented once again New Beginnings. In the main event, Jay White beat Hiroshi Takahashi to win the Heavyweight Championship, and I believe that was his first one in 2019. Also in 2019, Raw from Grand Rapids, Michigan, The Revival defeated Bobby Roode and Chad Gable to win the WWE Raw Tag Team Champions. I forgot they were a tag team. We also have 2 notable wrestling birthdays today. Ken Shamrock and Austin's favorite Hernandez.
Yo, let's go! Bro, I love me a good border toss.
Oh yeah, gotta love it.
Also, a little update on the Ace and Hole podcast lore. The first predictions we did was actually Extreme Rules.
Oh.
I won it at Extreme. Oh yeah, I won it because of Bianca.
Yep.
I couldn't stand myself because I won it because of Bianca. Yeah, I had Bianca.
I picked Bayley and Imperium, and those were the 2 matches. Well, I also picked Edge, so I got 3 matches wrong on that card.
My prediction.
Yeah, but I got some too, though.
And then Cliff decided to not defend it until Wrestle Kingdom, until we basically made him, or he would lose his title by default. So
was there any events that even happened?
Pretty sure there was plenty. From Extreme Rules to Wrestle Kingdom?
Absolutely.
That's from September to January.
I mean, yeah, but all the ones we had
October,
in between
November,
there-
December. That's 3 months. I'm sure there was a pro wrestling show happening.
all the ones that happened were uber predictable. You know, like War Games and shit.
Oh yeah, I'd totally bet.
Tell me I wouldn't retain at War Games. Tell me that to my face.
You wouldn't.
We literally had. I will literally look right now. We had Full Gear. We had War Games.
You talk about Full Gear, something I would have won.
Yeah, okay. You were supposed to win Royal Rumble too, weren't you?
No?
Hey, ow.
I did win Royal Rumble.
Ow.
You gimmicked your way back to the title.
Ow.
Eli, you would have been like 0-17 at this point if I defended it all the time. Shut up.
Ow.
Cliff, you wouldn't even have been the one that's defending it. Because if you would have gave me the opportunity, I would snatch that right off your fucking waist and it would have came home with me. I would have snatched it right from your little grubby hands that have been fucking wrist deep in fryer juices for Lord knows how long.
No.
Fucking grease and oil all over you.
No.
And it would have came back to the pristine champion that I am.
I just want to let you know that when I'm carrying that belt around, it's getting the American Dream treatment. People are looking at me
Please
asking
don't
if
call it
I
fire
am
juices.
the American Dream, and I have to look at them and tell them I am not the
The
American Dream.
Americana.
I am the Indiana Dream.
I don't know if that's much better.
All right, Eli, who's going first?
Alright, let me check real quick. Okay, this one has some accomplishments. This one does not have as many. Okay, Cliff, you're gonna go first.
Oh
you-
God. Okay.
Alright,
All right.
and you ready?
As I'll ever be.
This lady was ranked number 9 of the top 50 female singles wrestlers in the PWI 50 in 2018. Number 16 of the
sounds
top
like it's too
100
hard.
female singles wrestlers in the PWI Women's 100 in 2019. Number 10 of the 100 in 2020. Number 65 of the top 150 female wrestlers in 2021. Number 27 of the top 150 in 2022. She is a former one-time Women of Honor World Champion. She won the Joshi Purosu Grand Prize in 2019. And then this is where everything, you gotta bear with me. She's a 5-time Artist of Stardom champion.
Oh
a
my
2-time
God.
Goddess of Stardom champion. A 1-time High Speed champion.
You
2-time
might as well stop
Wonder
there
of
because he's
Stardom
not going to
champion.
get it.
She won the
Bro does not know anything about Stardom.
Wonder of Stardom Championship Tournament in 2014. She's a 2-time World of Stardom champion. She's a 1-time SWA World Champion. She is the 2nd ever Grand Slam champion. She won the Cinderella Tournament in 2015 and 16. Goddess of Stardom Championship Tournament in 2015. Goddess of Stardom Tag League in 2015. Moneyball Tournament in 2022. 5-star GP in 2018. She won 4 5-star awards for Best Match in 2015 and 2017. Best Red Stars Bout in 2021. And Outstanding Performance in 2014. She has won 10 year-end awards with Stardom, being Best Match of 2016, Best Match of 2018, Best Match of 2020, Best Tag Team of 2015, Fighting Spirit 2017, Technique Award 2014-2015, MVP Award 2019, Special Award 2021, Best Unit Award 2022.
I have no fucking idea.
That's why I said
Me
you
and-
might as well just save your breath.
me
'cause
and
Bro
Austin
knows nothing.
Talk about this girl consistently when we talk Stardom.
I have no idea.
Austin, he doesn't listen to us.
It's one of the few that I actually know.
I know.
I'll take a
Who is
hint.
Okay. Her tag team partner was Io Shirai.
If you knew anything about Stardom, that'd actually be a pretty decent hint.
I'll take another hint.
She is the leader of the Stars faction.
I have no fucking idea.
Hey, I'll give you this hint for free. She was taken in our women's
that doesn't
draft.
help me at all.
She was taken by Austin.
Yeah, there was only a handful of...
She was taken by Austen, and Austen and Eli got pissed. That doesn't mean I can remember her name.
I would hope you do.
What, do you want me to pull up the episode and listen through it?
I mean, if you took notes, you would have it next to you.
That's facts.
Oh, wow. I'm supposed to cheat.
I'm not cheating. I have my
It's
notes
not cheating.
It's
using your resources.
Rhea.
You're supposed to know off the top of your
Abaddon.
head.
He picked Asuka. He picked the Stardom chicks. He picked Raquel. He stole Candice LeRae just to be an asshat. He picked Alba just to be an asshat. Yeah.
Yes, you did.
He did. Number 8 pick.
Sounds like me.
Cora Jade, Indy, Wendy Chu, and then another Stardom, and Shotzi. And
Bro, the only person I remember from Stardom is the
Raquel.
Starlight Kid.
No, it's not her.
So,
No.
yeah.
Austin. Who is it?
I obviously know it wasn't her, but I don't know who it is.
You're asking. You want me to go ahead and tell him?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mayu Iwatani.
Yeah. No shot.
She's the John
Yeah.
Stardom. Alright, Austin, are you ready?
Obviously not,
Shit,
'cause
why
Stardom's
not?
obviously not popular.
I've already won once this episode. Why not make it 2? I don't like that laugh.
Hold up. Just let him cook.
She is a former 3-time Attack 24/7 champion. She is a former 1-time Attack Tag Team champion. A 1-time British Empire Women's champion. She is a 2-time Iron Man Heavy Metalweight champion from DDT Pro Wrestling. She was number 26 of the top 100 female wrestlers in 2020. She is a former Southside Wrestling Entertainment Tag Team champion. She was the Queen of Southside champion. And she is a former WCPW. Sorry about that.
I'm ready to say WCW. These timelines aren't adding up here, buddy.
WCPW Women's Champion 1 time.
Is that it?
Yep.
You're shitting, right?
Nope.
You're kidding.
Nope.
This is how it feels for me every fucking week.
Well, this is obviously someone with European roots. And he wouldn't be giving me her if she wasn't a big enough name. So I at least have to know of her. This is going to be very specific.
I think at this point, Eli is just trying to be a dick.
No. This is going to be very specific because I have a certain one in mind, and it's fresh in everyone's memory. And if it's not in this hint doesn't provide me with anything, then I'm probably fucked. Did she return to WWE here recently?
Fuck you.
Does she have the shiniest wizard?
I hate you. I hate you so much. Just say the name.
Tegan Knox.
I want to go home now.
Listen, literally, it's just like my Twitter timeline is like perfect for this. Because I just saw people talking about her on Twitter not too long ago. Because she came back not too long ago. She's came back and hasn't really done a whole lot.
Cliff,
she was in the
pick from last time. Next time.
No, I'm going to tell him. So that way you have to come up with something better. I told him to do Steamboat this week for you.
Now, I'm going to be honest. Those older wrestlers are probably going to be the ones to get me. I don't understand why you haven't done that yet.
Because
I want him to do like Sin Cara or something too.
The oldest you went back is like Vader.
Typhoon.
That was for you though. That wasn't for me.
I mean, I guess Ted DiBiase. Yeah.
That's kind of the same era though. But that once again, that wasn't for me. That was for Cliff.
Bruh.
Who did I give you?
It wasn't Ted DiBiase.
No, you gave me Typhoon. You gave Austin.
No, this was like back when you first started it.
No, I'll say last week he gave you the ring announcer.
Yeah, he gave me Ricardo Rodriguez.
Yeah, that one still pisses me off.
Like I said, the only reason I know that is because that fucking attires, like worst WWE attires, posted it on Twitter. But no,
this is so unfair.
Literally, this is all because Twitter just talks about the most random wrestlers at random times throughout the week, and it just so happens to be the people you give me. Eli's got his hand up. He's got a statement.
Okay, so I don't think I have official results yet. Maybe. So Jay White and Hikuleo started the match, or during the match, they did a 2-sweet. The latest tweet to come out from New Japan was Hikuleo last ride.
So what, we think Hikuleo lost?
Jay White's hit the Blade Runner. It's not looking like Hikuleo's going to come out the win. We should know by the end of your poem.
Yeah, this is a longer poem. For whatever reason, all the poems I found today are virtually just short stories. And like I said earlier, this has got some pretty graphic imagery, pretty graphic words. So if you were sensitive to that type of thing, just probably just skip over it. You can probably honestly, if you don't want to listen to the rest of it, whatever. So be it. Love you. Thanks for coming. All that good stuff. But this poem's name is Power. And it goes a little something like this. The difference between poetry and rhetoric is being ready to kill yourself instead of your children. I am trapped on a desert of raw gunshot wounds and a dead child dragging his shattered black face off the edge of my sleep. Blood from his punctured cheeks and shoulders is the only liquid for miles, and my stomach churns at the imagined taste, while my mouth splits into dry lips without loyalty or reason, thirsting for the wetness of his blood. As it sinks into the whiteness of the desert where I am lost, without imagery or magic, trying to make power out of hatred and destruction, trying to heal my dying son with kisses, only the sun will bleach his bones quicker. A policeman who shot down a 10-year-old in Queens stood over the boy with his cop shoes and childish blood. And a voice said, "Die, you little motherfucker." And there are tapes to prove it. At his trial, this policeman said in his own defense, "I didn't notice the size nor nothing else, only the color." And that there are tapes to prove that, too. Today, that 37-year-old white man with 13 years of police forcing was set free by 11 white men who said they were satisfied justice had been done, and one black woman who said they convinced me, meaning they had dragged 4 feet 10 inches of black woman's frame over the hot coals of 4 centuries of white male approval until she let go. The first real power she ever had, and lined her own womb with cement to make a graveyard for our children. I have not been able to touch the destruction within me, but unless I learn to use the difference between poetry and rhetoric, my power too will run corrupt as poisonous mold or lie limp as useless as an unconnected wire. And one day I will take my teenaged plug and connect it to the nearest socket, raping an 85-year-old white woman who is somebody's mother as I beat her senseless and set a torch to her bed. A Greek chorus will be singing in 3/4 time. Poor thing, she never hurt a soul. What beasts they are. and take with that what you will.
The Jay White era is officially over in New Japan.
He lost?
He lost.
Jay White lost.
What?
The
fuck?
He fist bumped Tanahashi as he was leaving the ring after, too.
What?
So, take that Eddie Kingston match as we will. Depending on if this is just a storyline thing where, haha, I left, I said I was going to leave and I didn't. As of right now, surrounding the circumstances, Jay White is no longer under contract with New Japan.
What? Well, it was a loser leave Japan match, not a loser leaves New Japan match. So, like I said, that match with Eddie Kingston could still happen if they want to take the words literally, since it's on American soil. He left Japan, he could just wrestle in America. But I think that concludes another jam-packed, first of its kind, Ace and Hole podcast episode. You two got anything else you'd like to add before we wrap this up?
I'm trying to find the fucking match. New Japan shit is so hard to find.
It's trending on Twitter. Stan Hansen? So far, 2024 is not even the craziest year in pro wrestling.
Well, if you think this year's crazy, just imagine what next year's going to be like.
If that's
since no one wants to do their shtick as we're getting out.
I said Stan Hansen, the best.
Well, I know you did. Someone else here doesn't want to play along.
I'm trying to figure out if Eli's bullshitting me or not.
I have the tweet saved. I just didn't send it yet.
Could have tagged me in it.
I don't
Damn, that's fucking wild. Man, I wonder... Well, they're not going to get a Bullet Club leader as strong as that until, 2024. When fucking MJF runs the damn Bullet Club in the wildest year of pro wrestling history. Imagine that. Imagine MJF running that shit. Can you imagine that, though?
Kenta wins the open weight belt and becomes leader.
No.
Uh-huh. Yes,
No.
sir. Yes, sir.
It's got to be somebody.
Well, they can't do bad luck. Hiku is with Tama. Tama's with the main unit. Unless Tama Tonga turns his back on him. Or has Finn Balor signed a new contract? No one ever fully answered that question.
No, but he's still under contract for a while.
I don't know.
We'll have to wait and see.
Who knows? We might figure it out in 2024.
In the wildest year for wrestling.
But, kind of reiterating what I said earlier in the episode, just do what's going to make you happy. People are going to try to stop you. People are going to try to tear you down. Eli, you got something to add before I sent it away? It looks like you do.
Finn Balor's contract ends September 2024.
Once again, 2024.
But, like I was saying, just do what you want. People are going to try to stop you, going to try to tear you down, going to try to make you feel like a piece of shit, going to try to walk all over you. But, just know your self-worth, who you are as a person, and keep on chasing that dream. Keep on doing what makes you happy, because you're the only one that can do that. Be the change you want to see in yourself and in the greater scheme of things. But no matter how crazy the world might get, no matter how much people might tear you down, just remember, we've always got you covered because we're your Ace in the Hole. Catch you on down the road.